Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe. Welcome to Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar. Traders, this video is being filmed on Thursday night for Trading Friday, February 5th, 2010. And I am here to say this. This is a warning video to you, traders. A warning. I am worried about these markets. The Omni's flip-flopping since Jan started, the first week and a half to 2 weeks in January. The Omni flip-flopped constantly. In fact, it continued to flip-flop almost through the month of Jan, telling us that something was going to happen. We did this video and said a sea change is likely coming our way. The Omni never flip-flops for no reason. And then we raced down to the Omni average, and you've seen all those videos. Well, we got below the Omni average. You seen I got worried. I took Don't Fall in Love with the Downside off my board and said, boy, we could start really going down here. What transpired this week was that the markets got back above the Omni average, or the OTAPMA. And when I seen that, I said, okay, it won't break. We're going to hold. Well, traders, forget it. You'll see in the charts I'm going to show you in the next couple of moments, the markets severely broke for the second time through the Omni, the OMNI Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, our OTAPMA. The indices broke down through it severely and have now absolutely flagged a new bear leg coming our way. Today, of course, was confirmation. Big down day in the world indices and U.S. indices today on Thursday. And it looks like it's going to get worse, traders. Again, this is a warning video. The flip-flopping in the Omni was for no reason, obviously, because we are heading down. And I am absolutely an official seller of rallies from this point forward, just like we were when we got below the average last week. So we are official sellers of rallies, traders. Again, I am really worried about this. Mikey, what are you pointing out, brother?
About the empty vacant space right there.
Oh, there's going to be something put on there before this video's over. You'll see. In any event, traders, yes, there's an open space. It usually says don't fall in love with the downside. Last week or a week before, we erased that. This week, it looks to me like we'll be adding something new in that spot, and you'll get to it shortly before this video is over. Traders, with no further ado, I got a lot of charts I want to show you, so pay attention and let's go look at some charts. Okay, traders, the first chart you are looking at is the Emini S&P daily bar chart, and as you can see, we were worried last week and the beginning of this week when we got below the Omni average, but then it got back above and settled above, and in fact, it settled above for 2 days. But what happened on Wednesday evening is we had no follow-through, and Omni went neutral. Omni said, forget the upside. I don't see any follow-through. So we backed off on Wednesday night into Thursday, went into a neutral stance. What happened on Thursday? Look at this miserable failure of the Omni average, traders. That's it. It's failed. It went through it, back up, failed miserably, and broke with very bearish indicators. This, my friends, is a warning shot for us that we have lower levels coming our way, making us official sellers of rallies going forward. As you can see, once again, look at how far we've dropped from that average already. Before this chart segment is over, I will show you what normally happens to a market when it does break my Omni average. All right, traders, let's keep looking. A lot of charts here. Okay, traders, next chart, Nasdaq, one of our leaders, and you will see that all three leaders that we use, the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones Transportation Average, and the Mini Russell, have all severely failed at this Omni average. Nasdaq daily bar, as we know, we had this huge parallel, and we broke out of it. Right before we broke out of the parallel, this is where you had the Omni flip-flopping like crazy, right here. Omni would not give us constant buy or sell signal. Every day it went red, green, telling us something was wrong, which is what prompted us to start doing these I'm a little afraid videos, Omni flip-flops for no reason ever, right? Well, since then we've broken down, hit the Omni average, got under it, we went back above it and created this little bear flag as of Wednesday, and then Wednesday into Thursday we cracked severely, traders. Bear flag, Omni average, broken down, one of the leaders. This is a very bearish signal. The Nasdaq failed miserably at the OTAPMA, and it's decisively below, making us sellers of rallies. Traders, this is a scary video because there's more. Wait until you see. Let's go to the next chart. Okay, traders, another leader, a secondary leader. This is the mini Russell. The Russell has also failed at the OTAPMA, and traders, miserable failure. This is one big straight breakdown. If you recall the last video we did, I showed you that this was the only one that stayed above. It hit it, got above. Well, since that video, failure. That was only a couple of days ago. Failure here at the Omni average. Indices in the U.S. are breaking down severely. I am very worried about this market. And now you can see that the likelihood of this being a shoulder and this being a head is beginning to grow. Right shoulder is now going to form. I think we're in some trouble here, traders. This would normally be a topping pattern if, in fact, it develops. But there's more, so let's keep looking. Okay, traders, this one gets really scary as far as I'm concerned. The leader of all U.S. indices, the granddaddy, the Dow Jones Transportation Average, has failed miserably at OTAPMA, or the OMNI Trading Academy's proprietary moving average. And let me show you why I am worried, traders. The last time, if you look back here, we got below the average. It went below the average, went back above in a big, big rally, and then just continued away, right? So we held here. On this one, now where we're at this moment, we went down through the average, went back up, and stopped cold right underneath it on Tuesday and Wednesday. And Thursday, boom, big, big down drop, traders. This worries me greatly. This is the leader. This is the one that dug us out of the hole back in March of 2009. It is now leading us down miserably in the U.S. indices and world indices, which you'll see before this video is over. But again, the leader, the transportation average, never even got its head back above the OTAPMA. It failed to get back above, broke down miserably. I am worried, traders, and I think you should be as well. Let's look at more charts here. Okay, traders, we're now going to start to go around the world a little bit here and take a look at the OTAPMA and world indices. Nikkei, Japanese Stock Index. If you recall, I showed this chart to you a few days ago and was happy to see that when we came down and tested the average that it held. Went up, up, up. And I said, oh, thank goodness, it looks like it may hold. Well, Thursday, forget about it. Look what happened Wednesday into Thursday. Here's the average. Here's the failure. And boom, we're all the way down here, traders. The Nikkei now joining the club below OTAPMA, and the rest of the world is on its way as well. You will see. Let's look at a few more charts here. Traders, we're looking at the FTSE now, the London Stock Exchange, or the Financial Times Stock Exchange. This is the London Index, the FTSE. As you can see, FTSE gets below our average, and then in a couple of days gets back above it. 2 days ago, is above it yesterday, but today, look out below, traders. That is not a good sign. When a market comes down below an average, a meaningful average, then hits it and fails, that is a failure. So forget about Eureka, we're above the average. It's, oh no, we're below the average and all over the world. World indices below the average, U.S. indices below the average, extremely bearish technical indicators, and a lot of panic starting to hit the streets, as you can see today, when bonds had its flight to quality rally. Let's look, traders, more charts. That's London's FTSE. Let's continue. Okay, traders, you've seen Japan, you've seen London. Now we're looking at Germany, and this one is really scary because this is the worst failure at OTAPMA, or the OMNI Trading Academy's proprietary moving average. This is the worst failure of all the world indices because this went through and never even got high enough to test it once again. Stayed underneath, and broke. The writing is on the walls, traders. We are in for more downside. That's the German DAX. Again, I'm showing you national and international. Let's look at another. Okay, traders, now staying with the international theme, this is a daily bar chart of the KOSPI, or the Korea Stock Exchange Index. It's also violated the OTAPMA. Right here was the OMNI Trading Academy's proprietary. Here is where we sit. It has joined the race with the other indices that are now smashing down below OTAPMA, and I am worried severely about these markets, traders. It's not just U.S., you're seeing it around the world, and it's starting to pick up some speed. So now you see Korea. We saw Japan, we saw the FTSE, we saw Germany. Now we're looking at Korea. There is more. Let's continue to look. Okay, traders, I'm trying not to leave anyone's country out. We have a bunch of OMNIACs from Amsterdam, so here you are, the AEX, or the Amsterdam Stock Index. And traders, right down to the OMNI average as of Wednesday's trading, looks to me like it's going to fail and follow the rest of the world indices lower. Amsterdam Stock Exchange, just as the Nikkei, FTSE, DAX, and all the U.S. indices, have extremely bearish indicators to go along with their bearish formations. And once again, I don't know if you can see it forming, but that would be a right shoulder. This would be a head. This should be the beginning of actually that's a left shoulder. Head, the beginning of a right shoulder, another head and shoulders formation building in another world indice. That is not good, traders. I am worried. But there's more. What I'm going to show you now is proof of what happens when an index or any market takes out the OMNI Trading Academy's average. Right here you hit the average, right? What normally ensues after you break this average is a big, big down move. Yes, the last few days we went back up, made me happy, but it has failed in the U.S. indices. Big down move ensues after you break an OMNI average. Let's go look at what that means. Okay, traders, now you are looking at the Hang Seng Index or the stock index for Hong Kong. 15 trading days ago, count back, 15 trading days ago, we broke the OMNI average. Oh, look out! Big, big breakdown, right? 15 days ago, we broke the OMNI average. Had a little bit of an upswing, and right back down we're going again, so it seems. But this is what happens when you break the OMNI average. It's scary. Let's go take a look at some other markets that have just recently broke the OMNI average. Okay, traders, Euro currency daily bar. The day this happened, I brought it to your attention. I said, oh no, look what happened. Euro currency is below the OMNI average, and we'd expect the 137, 138 area to come at some point, right? Broke the OMNI average, smack down, bear flag, smack down. Here we are at the moment in time, all the way in the 137s, traders. This is what happens when you break an OMNI average. All of our U.S. indices and world indices that I have studied so far have broken that OMNI average. Let me show you what happens if a market gets above the OMNI average, opposite of getting below. Okay, traders, last chart for the evening, dollar index daily bar chart, the March contract. Another example of what will happen to a market when it gets above an OMNI average instead of below. I showed this to you on the day it happened as well. We got above the average, came down and tested it in a bull flag, held it, and rallied out, as you can see. So this is what happens when you break an OMNI average. Oh boy, am I worried about the indices now, traders. Pull your charts, pull your indicators. Certainly take a look at all world indices, look at the U.S. indices, and you will see that we are starting to look ugly here, traders. So, traders, you've seen these charts, and who wants to look at them, right? I don't even want to see these things. Get them out of my face. This is horrible because of how we failed so miserably at the OTAPMA. A miserable, miserable failure at the OTAPMA in all major indices, both domestic and abroad. And I think now that you've seen the charts, you're with me on that. Traders, let's see what's going to happen. But we are absolutely official sellers of rallies from this day forward. Unless we get back above my OMNI average. I hate to do this, but this is what I got to put on the board next. And it will say, don't fall in love with the upside. Oh boy, I never wanted to have to write that again, but there it is, traders. Don't fall in love with the upside. What does that mean? That means that when we have market rallies now, you got to sell into those rallies and not be looking to buy anything, at least for me, till we decisively get back above the OMNI average and indicators start to point back up. For now, I don't like what I see out there, traders. That OMNI flip-flop was absolutely a telltale. It never happens for no reason. For you OMNIACs that have been with me for the last 3 years, we've seen that exact action right around October, November of 07. And boy, did we crack. Then we've seen that exact action in the end of March. The February. The end of February, beginning of March 09, we started to get the flip-flop and we went right back up. Well, right in the beginning of Jan, the first 3 weeks of Jan, the flip-flop started again. And boy, oh boy, have we gotten tanked. So one lesson here of all the lessons that we can come up with, traders, or that we that we have almost every day. We all learn every day, right? You don't trade without learning something new every day. One of the things that we all know, but I think failed to really take into consideration, was when the Omni flip-flops, a sea change comes our way. That's about the best thing you can get from this Omni trade, is it tells you when the big move is coming. And boy, how can you fault an indicator like that? Omni told us this was coming. Personally, I was in slight disbelief. I didn't think it would happen. Once we got below the average, I was like, oh no, it is going to happen. Of course, we get back above it, and I think, all right, we're saved. Forget about being saved. We're going down here, traders. Bear leg beginning, out of the bull camp, into the bear camp, sellers of rallies from this point forward. I hope the market turns around and goes back up, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the play. So don't forget, traders, do your homework. Start looking at selling rallies now in the world indices and in the S&P. Once again, you see those last three charts that showed you what happens when the markets do. Any market usually gets below and on the average. Big breakdown. What happens when it gets above? Look at the dollar index. That's the situation we're in now. Dollar index above and rallying, and all the other stuff I showed you down below. Currencies, indices below the average, and looking to punch a hole in this thing. Traders, I'm hoping to come back with another video in a few days and go, okay, let's tone that warning down, but I don't think that's the case, traders. I'm worried here. My warning to you, I hope those charts help you. Please start thinking about selling the rallies as they happen. All right, traders, our trading contest has how many sign-ups left, Anna? 2 sign-ups left in the trading contest. Please come down to www.livewithoscar.com. Jump into the free chat room. Join the free trading contest. If you win, you get cash prizes here, and the contest is made up of simulated dollars. You get $10,000 simulated money when you start the contest. It can't cost you a dime. So come on down, join the contest. Hopefully you'll win. You contest winners from last week. I didn't mention your names, but hey, very, very nice. Bunch of nice trades last week. This week we sign up for the contest. It begins Sunday evening next week. All right, traders, I got to get out there. I got a lot of studying to do. It's Thursday night. Getting ready for these markets. This video is coming at you earlier than usual, so you as well can prepare for tomorrow's trading. All right, traders, remember to keep your emotions out of trading. It's going to be tricky tomorrow. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with this is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening. And you know what that is? Stop in. Emotions out. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss.